In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down 3 important subjects that I think are really going to help anyone improve in their calisthenics performance when it comes to competitions specifically. So if you guys don't know, my name is Gavin. I'm a professional calisthenics athlete and coach based in Los Angeles, California, and I am competing tomorrow in my first freestyle calisthenics competition in about 4 years now. So I am super hyped, and like I said, we're going to be covering 3 important topics. So the first one is going to be nutrition. I just went to the grocery store and I wanted to lay out everything that I have or am going to be using, and also talking about specifically how my diet is changing from just normal maintenance into performance for the competition. The second topic that we're going to be talking about is supplementation. So I'm actually going to be breaking down my daily supplement stack right now and explaining exactly why I am taking everything that I am. Third topic we're going to cover is mobility and recovery. The first thing that I really want to touch on is exactly how my diet is going to be changing specifically for the competition. I guess there are 2 main levers that I've been pulling. So the first one is I'm actually just reducing the amount of red meat that I'm eating right now, and I'm eating more seafood. As you can see here, I've got some tilapia and I have some salmon here as well, when normally my diet would consist of red meats, white meats, and seafood. The other thing I'm doing is eating a little bit more greens. So got a couple different salad options here, and a bit less rice, for example. That way I'm slightly reducing my carbs while trying to eat the same amount. The thing with rice is that it's very easily digestible, right? But it's actually easier to overeat than something like potatoes, for example. So once it gets closer to competition time, I'm gonna start eating more rice. It's just a really clean, fast digesting carb that I can use for energy. So normally what I'm going to be doing is cooking up some of the fish or the chicken, and then adding that into these pre-made salads. So these are just some ones I got from the grocery store. This one's buffalo ranch. This one's guacamole crunch. I'll usually just switch these up. I'm too lazy to chop up my own salads, and I'd rather just pay the extra couple bucks so that I can just, boom, get it together. Also have some tilapia here, so if I'm going to have fish, I'll probably have 1 fillet of the salmon, 1 fillet of the tilapia, just so I don't get bored. Behind here, I've got my grass-fed protein. And by the way, none of this is sponsored. This is just what I'm eating. Yogurt, super, super essential. So yogurt is something that I am pretty much always eating, especially late at night. I love combining it with the whey proteins. This I got at Aldi's. Shout out to Aldi's. It's pretty much a Fairlife replication. But yeah, protein milk. So I got the Greek yogurt. I got the protein milk. I've got the chicken here, organic and air chilled, so it's not dunked in bleach, right? Oh, and here's something interesting too. I've got ginger here. And so you're probably asking, oh, why do you have ginger? I actually am going to be using the ginger to make ginger shots. That's something that I've been doing recently. I've done it before in the past, but recently started doing it again just to really help with the inflammation. I've got some LMNT packets. So again, not sponsored, but these I take after I go in the sauna. So recently I've been doing a lot more sauna and cardio, and so I've been sweating a lot more, and I think it's really, really important to supplement. So moving right along here, the next thing I've got is pasture-raised eggs. Hopefully there's not too much linoleic acid in here. If you guys know, then you know. Potatoes, this is going to be my main carbohydrate. It's the most satiating. Over here, I've got dates. If you know, you know. Super nutrient dense, amazing food. And then, let me come over here, to be honest. Boom, I got my coffee here for the appetite suppressant. Again, if you know, you know. Egg whites. This is absolutely a hack. I don't care who you are. Adding egg whites into your eggs is just free protein. So next we'll go through the supplements. So first off, creatine, one of the most widely studied. You might be asking, Gavin, why are you adding creatine into your supplement stack if it's going to add water weight to your frame? Most of your body is made of water, yes. So that also includes your muscles. Your muscles are also made of water. Creatine is actually super beneficial, especially when you're cutting, because it's really going to help you preserve your muscle mass. extra plus, I'm not eating any red meat this week, so the creatine is really, really going to help because normally you can get enough through red meat, right? Secondly, I've got my greens powder, so I take this every day just in case I need a little bit more micronutrients, even though usually I'm having something like a salad here. Collagen for bones, hair, skin, nails, everything like that. I've got my fish oil here. If you know, you know, fish oil is one of the best supplements you can take for sure. I have this magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D3 supplement. I think those are all things that are really hard to get even with a whole foods based diet, making sure I've got all my bases covered. Besides that, I take L-theanine, which is actually going to complement this other supplement that I have, which is Mind Labs Pro. So these are two like nootropic supplements pretty much that I'm taking. The L-theanine is really helpful for calming down and for anxiety, and then the Mind Labs Pro is more the nootropic that it helps with memory retention, creative thinking, getting into the flow or focus state, whatever you want to call it. But I've been taking the Mind Labs Pro for a couple months now, and I definitely noticed the benefits, so I'm just keep on taking that. And back here, got a bunch of bananas too as my other fuel source, so definitely eating a lot of fruit. A couple other things that I've been eating: kiwis, super helpful. I've been making some protein ice cream since I recently got the Ninja Creamy, and that's been goated for sure. And guys, that's pretty much everything that I'm gonna be doing this week in terms of nutrition and supplementation. So this session at the park was actually the next day, but still had to get it in. I was trying to talk while I was there, but guys, it was super windy this day, so just figured I would try out this voiceover thing and kind of walk you guys through everything that I'm doing. So starting off with a lot of different skin to cat variations, really just trying to open up my shoulders, especially if you're doing a lot of planche work, right? You can see there I get kind of stuck, which is pretty funny. But yeah, doing a lot of shoulder extension work here and really just trying to build up that range of motion. So basically I'm gonna start with these skin the cats, and then from there we're gonna go more into other retraction drills. So I'm doing this shoulder extension here combined with a forward fold, and I was also just doing some shoulder dislocates before this, so really using the skin the cat as almost a weighted mobility. Here I'm doing some reverse tabletops, again more shoulder extension, so that's kind of the theme here, really working on getting my arms to engage behind me, right? So next, doing some reverse tabletop marches. So this is really good for me specifically with all the hip pain that I have. And then we're moving on to some bridges, some bridge push-ups. That's really gnarly on my back extension, so I'm also just doing some plow back into the bridge here, really working on the range of motion in all areas. Next, we're doing some stretching for the legs, so adding a forward fold, a couple more bridges here. You can see my range of motion is getting a little bit better. And now I'm also incorporating this one arm bridge, so really working all of the posterior muscles and a lot of muscles that I'm not necessarily using when I'm doing static stretches. Here I'm doing a pike variation where I'm bending my knees pretty generously so I can target more of my lower back, and then I am working more on locking the knees after and just doing some dynamic pulses to really get the mobility down. Next, we're going to move on to some straddle stretching. This is just super important, I think, to open up the lower back, as well as, of course, the adductors as well. Obviously, this is going to help with my straddle planche, as well as other straddle variations. You can see here, I'm trying to do these straddle compressions, but that is my mortal nemesis, guys, I am telling you. So after all the flexibility work, we're gonna move on and work more into the stability side of things. So right here, I'm really just working on hanging, specifically more so on the left side, since that is a little bit weaker. So I'm starting with that first. Not only am I doing active unilateral hangs, but we're also doing some one-armed scapula pull-ups, as you guys can see here. So really just trying to activate a lot of these back muscles. We're going to move on next and do some scapula cars, controlled articulate rotations, really working on protraction, elevation, depression, and retraction here. Just making sure I'm able to control my back muscles in all these different ways. I'm also working one arm on the left specifically because I know that side is underactive and weak for me. And just finishing it off here with some wrist conditioning. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, wanted to do something a little bit different. Let me know if there's anything else you need me to cover in future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.